Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. Today we are going to see how to set preference sets. Now before setting preference sets, we should understand why preference sets are important. Preference sets actually reduce modeling time, increases the speed, which is very much important in CAD modeling, helps us to increase the focus on surface of work rather than finding commands in palettes, control panel or in menu options. It also increases quality of work, helps us to reduce irritations and frustrations while working. So with this, we will proceed how to set with preference sets. Now for that we need to go into preferences. Now first in workflow we need to fix what application we are using. To starting with surface modeling, definitely we need to go into modeling option, and then we can go into interface, and there are two options like hotkeys menu editor and menu editors. Now in hotkeys menu editor, what you can do is you can create shortcut keys for the commands which you are using through palette, control panel or even menus. So first we will go into interface, hotkeys menu editor. Now in this you can see all options whichever displayed on the screen, like whatever options you see in palette, control panel, diagnostic shades, even object listers or environment or whatever it is. Everything is mentioned over here. Now in this, whichever action you want to choose can be given a shortcut. Like if you want to open a new file can be given a shortcut on a keyboard. So actually the intention is it should reduce the time of your working, and that impacts a lot if you want to have a good quality surface. So new file can be given some kind of a shortcut. Like few shortcuts I have given initially that are like save, control S. Control save is very much important in Alias because continuously saving habit is very much important in Alias, because if you lose your data or if you go wrong with your command, mostly it happens when you are a beginner. If you don't go wrong with your command, then your software gets crashed, and in that case it is possible that you lose your data. So always keep an habit of saving it. So most favorable option for me is control S, which is very close to each other. Control is close to S, so it's very much easy to operate it with one hand. And always take care that whatever shortcut keys you are putting, those shortcut keys should be very much user friendly to you. It should be very comfortable while operating. And always keep in mind in Alias, one hand is on mouse, maybe your right hand, and left hand is on a keyboard. So try to keep all the shortcuts which are on the left side of the keyboard. So it will be better to operate it very fast. So likewise I have given control S for save. For save as alt S. Now alt S, even if you don't give an option, it's fine, because save as once in a while we do it, but save we do it frequently. So save can be given an option. Likewise there are different, whatever you choose, whatever options you feel which you use frequently, you can give a shortcut to it. Likewise menu, in files we have editors. Like in editors we can go for control Z for undo, that is universal, so keep it same. Undo, redo and all those things, copy, paste, these are frequently used, so keep it same. Okay, now group ungroup is also one more important thing we need to keep in mind, because many times we need to group many curves as well as many surfaces while working. So control G, it's very much easy to remember. Control is the command which you are commonly using, and G is relevant to group. Likewise control U, that is relevant to control ungroup. Okay, means ungroup. Likewise you can give different options for different things. Now delete, I have given like delete active, that is delete means if I have selected any curve or surface and I want to delete it, not necessary every time I need to go on delete button on the keyboard and delete it, because it comes on the right side of the keyboard, and for to operate that, either you need to raise your left hand from the left side of the keyboard, or you need to leave the mouse and click the delete button. So instead of that, if you keep a shortcut key like D, then it's on the left side of the keyboard and it's easily operable. Okay, same thing, work on deleting the history, I have given C. Deleting the locators, I have given L. The other options you can give as per your convenience. Now comes the object lister. Now in this I have given visible, that is V. Now understanding the in-depth understanding about sorry, understanding the importance of visibility of your model, that we will understand once we go into surfacing or curves. Okay, but just keep in mind there are two screens while working in Alias. That is a screen which you see on which the objects are present, as well as there is a hidden screen where you can hide your things behind. So it operates in two ways. Now when it comes to visible, whatever hidden things, when you type V, everything will be visible. Likewise, if you pick something and make it invisible, it will be invisible. Okay, it will go on the another screen. So likewise you can toggle in between the two screens. Now same thing, toggle. So toggle visible, shift V. You can toggle between the two screens with shift V. Likewise, hide unselected, I've given this colon which is at the upper side of the keyboard. Okay, whichever option you want, you're comfortable with, you can give it. I've given this because I feel comfortable while using it on keyboard of a desktop. Template T. Okay, likewise there are the different options like hardware shaders. Whatever options I'm showing you right now, these are all generally used. Other than that, if you want more to be given, you can give it, but these are widely used and universally accepted by all digital sculptors. So you can give this like hardware shader S, model M, grid you can on off by G. Okay, then comes layer. I've given air N for new layer. Other than that, actually layers can be manipulated or controlled through object lister, so I have not given any other shortcut key for layers. Okay, then canvas, it's rarely used. Renders, it's rarely used. Animation is very rarely used. Then comes windows. Okay, so now in windows we have palette, shelf and control panel. So whatever you see here, okay, this is palette. Now for example, I don't want anything on the screen, I want to close this palette, I am not using it, I'm just toggling my model, then I can close it. Now if to get it back, I can again type P and then I'll get it back, simple. So I've given a shortcut P. Now here what happened, I have closed it intentionally, but many times what happened, accidentally also you might close it, so you'd get jumbled up where to find it and all. So don't panic, just give a shortcut to it and it's easily accessible. Other than that, if you are not getting it or you are not given any shortcut keys, it comes under Windows. Whatever you see here, it is here under Windows. Okay, then comes control panel, that is Q for this. Okay, now information window, this is also frequently used window. You can give control 5, it actually comes as a default I think, so you can maintain that thing, that control 5 is for information window. That's just keep in mind that control 5 means information window. Okay, then comes preferences. Now in this preferences there are different options, like you can go in default, then it will show default options, like it won't show all the options for palette for surface modeling. It will show all few elements in every areas, like painting few icons will be there, modeling few icons and visualization few icons. Likewise painting is there, modeling is there, visualization. Now always you need to keep in modeling, because if you are working on surfacing, then you keep in modeling, and when you are into rendering, you can go for visualizers. Okay, so whatever shortcut keys you feel comfortable, you can keep it. So likewise there are different ways to keep the things in modeling. Shelf, you can go for transform. If you have any transform tool and you are habitual of using it frequently, generally you need to, so you can give a shortcut key to it. Okay, so likewise there are many ways. Okay, so few of the options if you see here, like curves and all, I have not given any shortcut keys because those can be operated through this marking menu. This is called marking menu. If you click with shift control and click on the screen, you can see the marking menu options like this one. So few things I've kept here and few things I've kept on the keyboard. As per your convenience, you can keep it. Okay, and don't forget to keep apply, and when you get this dialog box, it will ask you hotkeys will be updated. Do you also wish to switch to short menus? Actually what happens with this, the thing is this, if you go for short menus, then options in the palette will reduce. Why? Because it's software, what software is telling you that you have given shortcut keys now, then why you need all the options in palette? That is what the question it is asking. So now it's your decision whether you want all the options in palette. Generally I keep it, because many times shortcuts are different and icons are different, because different commands are there which I have not given any shortcuts. Okay, so I need everything. So what I will say is don't switch. Okay, and then close it. After this, don't forget to go in preferences and user preferences and save the preferences whatever you have done. Now at the initial level it will ask you to overwrite. Do you want to overwrite the default settings? Then you can say yes, and all the new preferences of the shortcut keys will be saved. Okay, now similarly we have marking menus. If you go for marking menus, you'll find in this way. Now it depends on the version what you are using. Now this is the latest version I am using, so I have this graphical element. If you go for the old one like 14, 15 or something, 2015, 2014, then you might not get this kind of an graphical element. You will get just dialog box where you need to pick and put in, drag and put into it. Okay, now this is the graphical element which they have added newly as an interface, which is similar to what you see with Control Shift keys simultaneously pressed and left key pressed. Now whatever you see here, everything is similar to whatever you see in the marking menu options window. Now this can be added as per your convenience. Now going into the first, that is left mouse button. Now if you see nothing. Now how to pick and drop into this? Now how you will do it? Just need to pick this with the middle click and drag it here. It will add to it. Okay. Now once you do that, double click with control and you will see this. Don't forget to press control and double click on the icon which you want to rename, because if you just double click it won't come. You need to press control and double click. Okay, now the title, it will show the path from where you have picked it. So now there we don't want all this path, we just want nothing. So I'll keep nothing and I'll say okay. Now when I'll go into this, it will show nothing. Okay, now why it is important to change the title? I'll show you again. Now for example, now here the object is there. Okay, now your object is there. I'll just replace it again with a new object. Now if I double click, you can see it is showing pick object. If I don't rename it, what happens is, if I go for Control Shift and click on the left mouse button, it will show the complete path. And we don't want this complete path because this is taking unnecessary space. And if every item in this marking menu starts showing path, then it will be a mess on the screen. So it's better to rename it. Control, double click and just remove the path and keep the thing which is present. Done. Okay. Now similarly you can go for other icons also. Now one more interesting thing here is like if you go for left click, now I have given an option like pick surface, curve and object. Now surface means when I will, if I go for surface picking, it will pick only surface. When I go for curve, it will pick only curves. And when I pick for object, it will pick anything including canvas, like curve, surface, canvas, anything. Okay, other than locators and template, everything it will pick. Now what happens is, we don't have any option for curve and surface in pick. Now whatever is there, it is under component. Okay, now component, you will see that it is written as curves, surface and object. So these options are there. Now when I am going for curves option, okay, when I'm going for curves option, now this is my curve option. You can see I have just ticked on these curves and everything else is off. Okay, so all is also off, only curves are tick mark, and I'm going for go and I'm closing this. Okay, then double click on this, control and double click. Now I change the title from object to curves. With this, what happens, the icon knows that only curves have to be selected. Similarly for surface, double click on this, I've given surface name. If you double click on this, you can see I've given only surfaces, that is all type of surface, that is multi-span, single span, trimmed, whatever it is, all surface it will be selected. So all components of it is off and only surface is kept on all. Okay, so again you can go for go option in that window and you will have surfaces picked. So likewise you have object, curve and surface. Okay, other options are available in pick options like hull, CV and cos. It is available like hull, you can see here. Yeah, I'll just show you. If you're not finding the icon directly, you can go with this option. Yeah, point types, you can see hull, so you can drag and drop it there. Okay, similarly we have cos, long menus. Okay, CVs, hull, whatever you want, you are easily available here. For objects, templates, edit points, whatever you want, you can drop as per your convenience. Okay, similarly we have transform tool options like move and all. So what we generally do is in first click we keep all the selection items or starting items like curves, how to start with, and middle click is generally for the editing tools. All the editing tools are kept in middle click like move, scale, rotate, set the pivot, query editing. Query editing means editing the command what you have used, and other like trim, untrim, aligning and extending tools. Okay, and in third click you can see evaluating tools like if you have done a curve, you can check the curvature comb, you can check the position continuity between the two surfaces, likewise tangency and curvature also. So there are different evaluating tools in the third click. Now you can go on adding it as per your convenience. Okay, so this is about marking menu. Now always keep in mind when you have given shortcut keys in hotkeys and menu editor, don't forget to keep it as toggle single hotkeys on, because unless and until you do this, your shortcut keys won't work. As for example, now I have given a G for grid. You can see if I type G, I am getting grid. Okay, now for instance I am having this off, and if I type G, it won't work. It will just come into this enter menu item pick options. It will just go on typing in this. Okay, so to avoid that, you always keep this toggle single hotkeys on, so your grid will be your shortcut keys will be working. Okay, now other than these two things like hotkeys and menu editor, marking menus, now the third one what you need to understand, that is construction options. Okay, now this is also very much important before starting into Alias. Okay, why it is important? Because what construction option does? Construction option does is it helps you to set the tolerance value in which you are making your surfaces or curves, so that whatever operations you are going to do on your surface model later on, like means if you are exporting in some other software or using it for manufacturing, so whatever tolerance values those manufacturing processes or another migrating softwares need, it can be set here. So this is very primary and important stage, because if you are not set your construction options and if you are done your classes surface also, it's of no use unless and until your constructions options are matching to the requirement of manufacturing as well as third party softwares. Third party softwares I'm talking about, that is the 3D CAD softwares which adds thickness to your surface like CATIA, Pro-E or any other software which are widely used as per the company standards. Okay, now this construction options depends company to company. Now few companies have tighter tolerance values, like they work with very tight tolerances, GD&Ts. So in that case what happens, you need to consider those tolerances and set your own, like user defined. Now this depends on the company, user defined, you can set your own. Likewise, now what I have done is taken CATIA, because as a student what you need is, you can't do it as per the company standards, because you don't know which company you're working for right now. So you are doing it for your own portfolios. So in that case, what you can do is you can go for CATIA V5 option. Why? Because if you think of milling it, then this might be the best option, tolerance values which can match the milling software in a proper way. So there will be very less chances of getting your data loss. That is the only thing. Okay, now if you see in CATIA V5, what options are there? Like, it will ask you for linear tolerances, like what unit you are using, okay, then angular what units you are using, and then tolerances value like fitting. Now curves will be fitted with a distance of 0.001. Now the thing is, if it is like, for example, you have given a curvature continuity, then if it is not falling in 0.001, it is more than 0.001, gap is more than 0.001, then it will show fail. Unless and until it matches the 0.001 value, it won't show your curvature green. That is the thing. Okay, so same thing is for fitting, that is same thing is for continuity, and topology value is the distance between the two different features that you can set. Curve on surface, again, cos whatever you project on the surface, the curve on surface value, it can be manipulated. Now these are the default values which CATIA needs. So these are the settings given by the software, like Autodesk Alias itself. So you just need to pick this option and every value will be set as per the CATIA V5 software. So if you are migrating your data after surface data after Alias into CATIA, then you can add thickness in CATIA V5 very easily. Okay, similarly, if you are migrating into ProE, then you can take these settings. I am widely using CATIA V5, so I have kept this option. Other than that, if you are using for some other company, you can set your own values. Okay, but this is very important stage in Alias before starting even a curve in Alias. So always do keep in mind your set your desired construction options, and then starting, you just need to pick whatever option you want and just close the window. And again, whatever changes you do in the interface, don't forget to go into preferences, user preferences, and save preferences. Okay, fine. Now this is all what we can know about preference sets. Thanks for watching this video, and do mention your queries in comment section so that it can be discussed in next video. And don't forget to subscribe the channel. Thanks for watching this video. Keep learning at Organic Geometry. You deserve the best.